for the first time. Oh, see?
Start. Yeah.
That started right away.
Like the rain.
I guess not.
Very,
Yeah, it is.
He's not gonna let anything by.
I'll take the win, though. It was
Yeah.
a hard technology day today,
Sure.
so.
Yeah. And literally, I'm like, is it still Monday? It's still, literally,
Right.
my husband, he goes, still not tonight or whatever. I go, I have my board meeting tonight. Why are you just meeting on Tuesday? Honey.
It's Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
My week's thrown off. We got canceled coming home Monday night.
Oh, no.
I don't know what, we were supposed to go home Monday night, got home last night. I can't keep track of my days right now.
It's 6:30 if you want to go.
I'd like to call to order the City of Twin Oaks Board of Aldermen meeting for July 16th, 2025. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Eisenhower.
I'm here.
Alderman Cruzen.
Here.
Alderman Stokel.
Here.
Mayor Fortune.
Here. We have an agenda for tonight's meeting properly posted. If there are no changes to the agenda, I'll take a motion to approve.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda is approved. Any citizen comments online?
Nope.
We have a consent agenda, Board of Aldermen regular meeting minutes for June 25th, workshop meeting minutes for July 2nd, bills lists from June 21st to July 11th, credit card list for June 2025. Any comments or questions? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. Report of committees, financial report, Dave Watson.
Good evening. So we are halfway through 2025. But still have a way to go here. Not much has changed. We still have about $2.4 million in cash and investments end of June. And fund balances right now totaling over $2.8 million. Obviously, it's because we haven't spent the capital improvement money, and that's going to gonna happen here soon. But as far as the revenues and expenditures, sales tax was way down in June compared to June of 2024. But sales tax still is up for the year by over 8%. It's very healthy, and looking at the individual filers, not much difference than what they have been. It's just a steady stream. It's very, very healthy, very stable. And we have the one new restaurant is contributing a pretty good amount of money to the sales tax, I will say. Not getting into specifics there. We did collect a lot more in merchant license fees in June this year than we did last year, just a timing issue. So the overall revenue flows is still pretty much up from last year. We're up about 150,000 in revenues, but a lot of that, about 70,000 of that is because the merchant licenses came in June this year versus July last year. Just a timing issue. On the expenditure side, expenditures are down almost 15% from last year. Again, because of capital improvement spending just really hasn't kicked in yet this year. And some of the individual areas of road expenditures appear to be down because we reallocated some of the salaries from roads up to parks and to administrative. And that's why that's down. Otherwise, things are pretty much in line with last year. If you want to look at the sales tax numbers on page 3, you can see we have flattened out quite a bit. We were showing that graph at the bottom, we were showing a pretty big spike. Now it's still a pretty healthy increase, but not what it was before. Still up, like I said, over 8% from last year. And then on page 4, the budget numbers. As it sits now, the budget, we would end up the year with total fund balances, adding them all up, would be about 2.5 million. Now we are going to increase the expenditure amounts tonight, and depending on how that would be, anywhere, I think 144 to 244, depending on which option, that's going to lower that projected fund balance. But still, we would be looking at $2.2 million at the end of the year in a conservative way, which is compared to what it costs to operate, over double what it costs to operate the city. So that's obviously very helpful. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Dave.
Park Committee, Cindy?
Hello, everybody. So basically, the last park committee, we reviewed the June concert, which was very well received. Nothing but positive comments from everybody that I spoke with. And I think Lily's food truck was satisfied with how much business they got, and everybody was very happy with the food they received. Went over the firework event, another great success as far as we all considered, and again, good comments from everybody that attended. We did discuss maybe having a DJ next year versus live music, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, maybe get a few more kind of fun contests going. Maybe like dress like a patriot or something like that, and just, have the DJ kind of pull us all together a little bit more. So I'm gonna.
So it's not like Groundhog Day every July 3rd?
No. Though Scott Latham will be sad because he loves to do that performance. It's been his favorite for many years. So the next thing coming up is National Night Out on Friday, August 8th. And we have the Cool Times Ice Truck scheduled to be there. And we've also got merch, I guess, from St. Louis County Police Department that our our park committee, Rachel, is bringing in for us. And hope to have like the Girl Scouts there like they were last year with a couple of games that we'll have for everyone to play. So hopefully we got a good turnout being a Friday night. And then the next thing will be the August concert, which is Jukebox Heroes. And also we're going to dedicate the Park Pavilion to Mr. Dennis Whitmore. So that will be a nice evening too. Then we're still working on Family Fun Day. We're getting that in order, getting all the games kind of set aside what we want to do. And food, we've decided on what we're serving. And just a matter of having a good day, hopefully this year, no rain. And we've got entertainment for that with the the fanfare band. And also a food truck will be there. So I believe that's my summation of what's going on. All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, old business, citywide road improvement project, I think we're calling this.
Well, we talked about it being citywide versus Crescent only at this point. So that's what we're discussing
Okay.
again. Hopefully you guys were able to go around and do some driving and see what you thought about the condition of the roadways as a whole in Twin Oaks.
Jake has some pictures. Well, I did my drive around, and the streets I think in the best repair are in Old Town. Those streets there, of course, they get very little traffic, but they appear to be very good. And I think Woodland Oaks is in good shape, that concrete road. Crescent Road is just horrible, absolutely horrible. And Crescent Avenue it's got some really, really bad spots in it as well. Autumn Leaf, I think there's some patching that could be done by Janet Herbold's mailbox and by the stop sign. Some of the seams could be resealed, but in general, there weren't a lot of potholes. Merrimack Station, there's a big pothole right in the center of the street that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
It's
I noticed
about,
that the other day.
yeah, it's huge. So appears to me we have a lot of work to do to get these roads improved. Anybody else?
Yeah, I took a drive too. I think Crescent's in bad shape from what I could see of it. I had a gentleman behind me that was very anxious to get around me as I was doing 3 miles an hour, and he was not happy. So I had to scoot along a little bit, so I didn't get to see him.
And you were dodging the
Everything I
potholes?
wanted, yes, but it needs some help. Yeah.
I did a little tour on the way up here tonight. I did not get over to Autumn Leaf just because of timing. But I agree. Old Town looks like it's in pretty good shape. The thing that stood out to me was that it looks like at one point it was just overlaid but not milled, so that the concrete apron at the gutters sits a couple inches low. There's a lot of weeds growing up in it. It just looks bad.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's not a maintenance, but I don't think that the road's bad. Golden Oak looks pretty good, but there's some curbing issues there. Some of the same issues, right? It looks like it was overlaid, and then there's a little gap where the curb is, and then it looks like the curb work that was recently done was done kind of like patchwork, which looks a little bit junky. And we know what Crescent Road and Crescent Avenue is. But the other thing I noticed was right there at Valley School Road and Crescent Avenue, the concrete.
Yeah.
You're starting to see some
Yeah.
potholes in some of the cracks are getting bigger. So that's something else that I noticed.
I think that would be MoDOT.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know where
Yeah.
ours starts and stops at that point.
where the concrete stops, we start.
Okay.
Is that like across from the Valley Road? Is that what's across from the park?
It's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Stop
right at
stop sign by the bell.
Yeah, by the
the firehouse, yeah, yeah. Yeah, those are my comments.
Also notice that the curb on Crescent Road is totally grown over. Did you notice that? There is a curb there that goes
I
down.
never knew there was a curb there.
It's totally grown over.
I did not go down. Is that this one?
Yeah,
Crescent
it's the one that goes down
Crescent Road
towards
is the
Hammond.
one way.
The one,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did not go down that way. Crescent Ave was worse than I remember it by a lot. And I feel like I was just out there, but I guess I wasn't driving it. Like when we went up and did the thing, I was walking,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying any attention to it.
Yeah,
I would say it has gotten worse since we had the.
that was
ribbon cutting.
December of last year, so
Yeah, I
that's
guess
been a
that's true
good
too,
amount of
but, like,
time.
I just was, like, the last time I walked on it would have been like, summer a year ago, right?
There's a
Like,
spot
when I walked.
near your house
It was,
on the left-hand side as you're driving
edges
west.
are falling off more than I realized.
Looks like the water collects there and
Yeah, that's
it's actually sunk a little
the
bit.
point I was making. Where
Okay.
all that stuff comes down.
Yeah.
All that grit comes down and collects. I don't know if it's coming down and collecting or if it's getting ground up as.
It's the sides coming off.
Yeah, and it
that's
just-
yeah.
I mean, there's one picture I took that it's a pile of
Oh,
grit like that tall.
Yeah.
And
I think Jake has a picture of it
Where that
too.
little that skirt ends,
Yeah.
basically, and it all just comes across there. We've got to do something with that
Mhm.
where it just stops because that's the biggest
Yeah.
issue, and all that water just ends
Yeah.
up sitting there. And then,
And that's where the water
Those-
jumps over the road. then
and
comes,
that's
which
where
was
all
the
the
cause of what-
repeat offenders are at,
Sidewalk.
like
Mhm.
where we just pack on top on top on top. Just keeps going,
So as we talked about in our capital meeting, it's nice to have these reserves that we have, but we also have some real issues out there that need to be taken care of, need to be taken care of soon, I believe. So we do have some bids.
We do. So I put all three of the bids that I've gotten from the contractors. At least two of them addressed the area that you were talking about, where that swale is with different, they both had kind of the same take on it about how to fix it. So there are two, I would say I called the two low bids this week to see what their timing schedule looks like, because obviously this is going to be of great disturbance to the school buses if we do this. So during the school year. So one contractor did assure me that they can get it completed by August 18th, but they need to know yesterday. The other one told me September at the earliest when they could get it. So that is sort of if we feel like it is to the level that needs emergency repair and we want to move quickly and get this before school starts, we did put two options, I guess, in the budget amendment. One being if you want to go ahead and move forward with this and I'm talking about doing all three sections, like I think I showed you guys last time that
Yeah.
I had the map out. And Russ may be able to talk about a little bit more about why we feel comfortable doing all three sections at this point, but doing all three sections and being done with Crescent and getting that done before the school year, or saving the difference in the low bid and the mid bid and doing it in September with potentially more disruption. So that's kind of the option. Or if you want to, as was suggested at the last meeting, that we do a bigger citywide street repair, which will take significantly longer. And then we're talking about into 2026 before we can get engineering out and BFA to make a plan for all of that and, review and that sort of thing. So.
Right, and I would defer to you guys, because I think we can do citywide into next year. Like, I think we can do the extension of that into next year and get the Crescent Road, since we already have bids on that, done. My preference would be before the school year.
Yeah.
Because traffic is a problem over there. You add buses and people taking their kids to school and kids walking to school. That's just something I don't want to see.
Yeah.
So to me, the fact that there is an option where they could do that, I couldn't read any of those because I'm not I know nothing about streets and whatever. So none of that gobbledygook made sense to me, but I'm sure that you guys know that that will do what we need it to do.
Mhm.
So that's really like, I defer to you guys on that part, to make sure that each one of those does something that we need done, because I felt like they weren't all saying the same thing, but I didn't understand the differences enough to know if it made a difference.
I was having a difficult time following some of them because everything was labeled as Crescent Road.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah.
I didn't know
right.
like
Mhm.
how that was kind of broken out. I did, and I can't remember which one it was, but one of them talked about a 7-foot edge mill,
Mhm.
and then but a section being a full width edge mill. What do we know what they're talking about there?
Yeah, so was that in the,
It
is that
was
in the
third
one from
It was the
Larrett's
third one on
or from Spencer? Was it the low
I think
bid?
Spencer. It was the
Okay.
third one listed on the draft.
So Spencer was the only one that pushed really hard against doing Crescent Road one lane at a time. They want to close the entire road. So they would like to mill that all at once, Crescent Road, the one way.
Okay.
So
I
that
see.
is what the difference
I
is.
understand.
They want to
So
mill
the
that all at
7 foot is
once.
one side at a time.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
otherwise,
Yeah.
the other contractors both, because again, knowing that that is utilized by the fire department and, knowing how much traffic goes through there. Now, these are much quicker fixes than what we had to do when we were doing the Crescent.
For
you know.
sure, yeah.
So this will be like, a day maybe worth of work. But still, I don't like the idea of having Crescent totally closed. And I think we would get a lot of complaints about that being totally closed. So I really encouraged all three of them really, but Spencer was the only one that was like, we have to close the entire road to do this.
Right.
So the others said that they could do it a lane at a time and still accomplish the same thing. So that's the difference in
Okay.
the milling.
I thought they were trying to say that they're only going to mill 7 feet of
And you
it,
were trying
and
to figure out
then
which 7
it's
foot.
like, yeah, it's
you were
like, what
yeah.
are you doing?
Well, they
Yeah,
are,
that
most
makes
of them
sense.
are suggesting edge milling and then an overlay.
Yes.
So the edge milling
Yes.
is so
Right.
that it will meet the curbs and the concrete where it is. So they mill that down
Yeah.
and then they will overlay the entire roadway.
Right.
So that it will not be milled all the way across. Crescent, maybe, but not Crescent Avenue. They will not mill the entire roadway. They will just overlay what's existing there. And they all talked about installing riprap along those areas to help shore up the edges. So that's something that's in both of the low bids, installing, especially in that area past the swale that we were talking about where all that stuff accumulates or whatever. They suggested some riprap there to help stabilize that edge and keep it from breaking off that way. So
What does that mean?
riprap is like
Riprap's a
rock.
big rock.
Rocks.
So if you have driven over on the other side, the Valley Park side of Crescent past, that's
Like
what
the big
their asphalt
Yeah.
contractor did as well. Big white
Big
rock
white
to where you don't have a curb. It helps just shore up that edge line to keep it from breaking off, as people
Yeah.
drive off into it. So
Right.
We talked about doing 2 portions instead of 3 at our meeting. And the reason we were talking about that was because we didn't know what was going to happen at 66. Okay. So we feel a little bit more comfortable now. Give you just a little summary quick. April and I had a meeting with Anna and Alex. They were coming over to make their application for their major land disturbance. We went through the process with them, the checklist of everything needed to be done, which they could only check off about 2 or 3 items. We had a long discussion, saved you from all the details. Where we ended up was they agreed that Alex is going to do no more dumping. He's going to do no more grading. He's going to return that lot as best he can to just a nice prairie land. We suggested that we have BFI go out and tell him what he needs to do to stabilize the stormwater. And I haven't heard since, but they did agree that that would be a good idea. And there's going to be nothing done on that property for the near future. The other lot, They are getting all their drawings together. There's a contractor involved. Oh, and the other thing that was interesting was Anna suggested to Alex that whenever he does want to do something with that lot, he probably should use a contractor, which was progress. And, but a house will be going up on the other property. It's going to be done by a contractor. And they are getting all their stuff together right now. They're trying to clear off, they have some existing violations that have to be cleared off before we can permit them. And they are working with county on that now. And they have sent in some drawings, which we forwarded to BFA and they're reviewing. But everything at the moment seems to be stabilized, and we feel comfortable now that we probably could do all aspects of Crescent. So that's one of the reasons why we're kind of coming forward and saying, let's do the whole road. So that's where we are with 66, and now I can't guarantee that Mr. Young's not going to be having a bunch of trucks come through, but there will be no trucks going to Alex's property. And I would like to add that they were, at least with Anna at the meeting, very cooperative and wanting to do the right thing. And so I suggest going forward, whenever we do permit applications and things like that, we deal with her.
So was the one who can do it quicker also the lowest bid, or was it the mid bid?
Mid bid.
Mid bid.
Yeah.
What was the difference?
Like around a little less than 30, like 27-ish.
So the one I'm looking at on the screen.
This is the mid bid,
Mid-bid,
yes,
okay.
correct.
This is the one that can get
They
done.
can get it done by the 18th. They assure me that they can, if we let them know right away, which I assume that we can do that, Paul, and then draw up the contract. Like I can tell them, can we do that? Or do we have to have contract approval? Do we have to draw up so that I can tell them to go
Well-
ahead and get it scheduled, I
The
guess?
scheduling part's fine. They
Okay.
just can't, we
Yes.
can't pay them
Yeah.
until.
Well, right, of course, yes. But I can just tell them, I could tell him to go ahead and get us on the schedule so that it would be for sure happen by the 18th. That's what they really want to know, just so that they can schedule.
And I think you mentioned it, but the side road stabilization, I guess, everywhere that it's necessary, right?
Everywhere that it's necessary. It's
Yeah.
not all of the roadway.
Right,
So if you look, he did talk about it a little bit in this bid, specific to where, okay. So I have to remind myself what phase 3 is. Okay, phase 3 is Crescent Road. So this is what he's talking about. Crescent Road. So they've got riprap down the south side of, it says Crescent Avenue, but he means Crescent Road.
Yeah.
It's confusing for them as it is for us. But anyway, so that is also that riprap along that edge that is deteriorating the worst, where we don't, because we have curb on one edge. We do have an asphalt curb on one edge. So that's the condo edge has the curb. The other side does not have the curb. And it's where the most washout goes anyway. That's where all the water goes. So there will be riprap there. And then he also talked about riprap on that, I think it's phase 2, because it's the one by your house where that concrete patch swale thing ends. So I think that's phase 2, and there is riprap at the end of that. I'm pretty sure.
But nothing up at phase 1.
No, they did not talk about any riprap up there. I mean, we can
Yeah, I think you can see in those
Ask.
pictures, there's
edge deterioration
something
there
should
as
be
well.
done.
Yeah.
On both sides.
I mean, we can specify that for sure. Again, we didn't have BFA engineer this, so this
Right.
was sort of me going to the contractors and relying on their expertise as to what they think needed to be done to fix the roadway. So they all came back with essentially the same answer, which is good news. I think that, that we know that they're doing.
Do we need striping?
Well, yeah, after the overlay, we'll have to restripe, yeah.
It's not striped now.
It was at one time,
Should
There's
be.
not a center
Yeah.
stripe, is there?
but it needs to be striped, yes.
I recommend stripes.
Yes, for sure.
Who's the mid-range vendor?
Larrett's Busy Bee Paving.
Was it Busy Bee?
NB West was the highest. That's who's done our some work for us in the past. They're the ones who did the like Nova chip, the sealant that we have, the little thin stuff. They're one of only 2 contractors that can do
The
that.
third proposal was.
That was Spencer.
They wanted to close the entire road.
Correct. And they
You can't
can't
do that.
and they can't get it done until September.
Yeah, the
So,
bigger problem is.
that-
the
yeah,
timing.
To me, that was the bigger issue. It was like the timing.
Yeah.
You know, if the board feels that it's important to get this done before school starts.
Yeah.
You know, we really only have one option in that
Yeah.
case, who says that they can for sure get it done by then.
And the first company is the highest bidder.
They're the mid bid, I guess you should say.
So-
Larrett's Busy Bee is the middle bid. MB West was the highest
Okay,
bid.
so
Spencer was the low
We
bid.
wouldn't pick the third bidder. And the first bidder is the highest bidder.
Right. We'd be going
And the
with
second
mid
bidder is the one that can meet the time schedule.
Correct.
So I would recommend we go with number 2.
Would you want us to have a special meeting to make sure that the contract could be?
We could do
completed?
that. We talked about that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we could do a quick
I mean,
contract approval meeting
yeah,
as
if we're
soon as.
trying
Yeah.
to push them that quickly, we
Yeah.
probably want to have all
I
of
mean,
our
it-
ducks in order. You could still say tomorrow.
Right, I
put
can
us on
still
the
let them
schedule,
know, yeah,
obviously,
get us on the schedule,
because
but we can
will-
get a
we won't
contract.
have agreed tonight, but
Sure.
at least that
Yeah.
part, if we, can
I
all
think
just
that'd be a
come in for
good idea.
special meeting,
Mhm.
When you want to do it.
I mean, fine. That's really his question.
Oh, well, you know,
How quickly can you drop that contract?
we'll probably have that done tomorrow. It's just, you need more than 24 hours notice.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
But we could do it,
Monday?
yeah,
Monday?
maybe Monday.
I'm out.
No,
Oh,
I'm
you're
out
up.
next
not
week.
Monday.
You're out all week.
All week next week.
You're out next week?
All week.
Can we do it Friday?
I can do it Friday.
Hang on. What time would we be talking about on Friday? Let me just look at my calendar. All right.
I'm free from 10 to noon.
I know
Late
Jim is
afternoon.
out of town until,
Yeah.
he won't be here this week at all, so we'll need, yeah, all we need is 3. Yeah, okay.
Well, we need Joe here.
So, yeah, I'm free from 10 to noon on Friday.
Friday?
Or
I can do it
late,
anytime.
like after 4 o'clock.
I could do after 4 o'clock. So I have baseball at 10:20 and 12:20. So I can't get here until like 3.
3:30.
But he can't get here till 4.
Yeah.
4?
Four.
We can make it 4, that's
4.
fine.
I don't,
I
yeah.
can do 4. Yeah.
I'm okay with
Tim, are
that.
you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Tim's free, okay.
Check,
Paul?
check your
Just let me
schedule.
know.
Well,
Oh, you
Paul
don't-
leaves and.
You don't need, we
You
don't
don't
need,
need Paul.
we don't
Yeah.
need you.
I mean, I'll be available by phone.
Paul's got his summer Fridays, okay? We're not gonna mess
I
that
mean,
up.
I can do it.
4 o'clock happy hour.
Okay, 4
Sounds
o'clock,
great.
4 o'clock Friday. All right, I will put that on the schedule and I will make sure to put the agenda up together.
Wait, did you say happy hour? Hold on.
Paul can make it.
Can we
That's
change
just
this
into
one
my-
if there's happy hour involved? Okay, so 4 PM Friday, we'll do a contract approval meeting. And I will do we need to do like a vote to everybody say move forward with scheduling or anything or?
Yeah, I
wait
would
till
just, I would say that, you would get a motion to select Lawrence's bid and time schedule and to go ahead and notify them tomorrow that they've been selected and that we'll get them a contract and get it approved later this week.
Right, I said that.
Great, Lisa said that.
Okay. And you seconded?
I second.
Okay,
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay. Guess we should have done roll call, huh?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
okay,
All right.
Very
So it's
good.
fine.
thank you all.
Okay, resolution 2025-11.
Okay, that's a resolution of the Twin Oaks Board of Aldermen approving and authorizing the mayor to execute agreements for website development and website hosting. So that's we talked about.
There's lots of pages.
I know it's a huge proposal, but I wanted you guys to have plenty to read
Thanks.
for fun. So I will point out just a couple of the reasons why I'm suggesting them is on, let me see if I can get to it quickly. Probably not. But basically, this particular vendor had some built-in modules, they call them, that I think are going to be very helpful for us. Like they call it Evo 311, which is kind of like a citizen notification system. And so it has a request tracking workflow system so that we can get requests for pothole fixes and things like that. We can track them. Jake can update when he does it, and we have a whole database of when we've made these fixes, which I think is going to be really handy. And they also have the Evo Bids system, which is an online bidding and RFP that will be built into the website. So contractors will be able to download the RFP straight from our website, not have to do all that Drexel business. And I think that'll be a really good value add for anybody that's bidding any of our work that we have coming up. And the guy has been and we really liked the back end, the CMS is what they call it, a content management system. Very easy to use. They had a lot of really good examples. Now the website will look a little bit different, but we will try to keep it. I told him, that generally we're happy with the way that the website looks. And there was a lot of design, discussions that went into that website. So we're not changing it significantly, but it will be.
Their buttons will be different.
Yeah, the buttons will be different. It'll just be kind of a more modern, up-to-date look, but it will have the same functionality and more functionality actually than we do now. And they also have facility management, which is something that we were looking into. So going into an online booking for the park, for community room, that kind of stuff, so that people can do that online, and that will save. Paula spends a lot of her time answering questions, booking the park pavilion, that kind of thing. So that will help free up her to do some of the other things that she has to do besides book the park pavilion. So I think they're a really good, and they're less expensive than what we're paying now. So that's even better.
Right. Yeah. It seems.
So yeah, we're paying Civic Plus currently $3,000 a year for the hosting, and this will be $2,400 a year, $200 a month.
And even their whole switch up, it just was not.
Yeah, it was $8,400 total
Right.
for
In the
the
beginning,
migration
we paid
from
10.
our site to
There's
this new one.
I remember the number 10.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was very reasonable for what they're doing, and it's billed in 4 increments of $2,100. So very,
Easy and smart.
yeah. They were head and shoulders above the other ones that I talked with, I felt like. So they're a smaller company, but Civic Plus is probably going to buy them out in 10 years. Who knows? But anyway, for now,
Whatever.
it's a good solution, I think.
Yeah.
So
Okay, is there a motion to adopt resolution 2025-11?
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-11.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We will adopt 2025-11. Bill number 25-06.
an ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
So 7 actually, right?
Yeah, it is 7. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And-
I have it right on the thing, but not on there.
And since there were 2 in there, it's actually 2507A.
Yes, since we
Which
went
has
with
the-
2.
Account 1701 being adjusted by 167.5
A
instead
lot
of
of pages.
67.5.
Okay, I'm getting there. Hold on. There we go. So it would be this one.
Right.
Which is total increase of 254 to account for the increase, the $110-ish thousand increase we had $75,000 in the budget originally for the Crescent overlay. So this would be, because we thought originally we were only going to do Crescent Road. So this includes, and here I'll bring up this is probably easier to see. So the changes are in yellow.
Yeah.
And the accounts. So again, the roof and siding replacement, has been reimbursed or will be reimbursed by insurance, but we had to have that in there in the year, as Dave pointed out, that we are actually going to spend that money. The curb repair was just slightly more expensive than we anticipated. So that's already, we have a contract out for that. That's going to be happening next month. And then the rest of it is just the continuation of the Crescent project, because we haven't finalize that last payment with the contractor, trying to get them finished. And then the additional money for the asphalt overlay. So it looks like a big number, but really a lot of it's continued from 24. So it's not that big a number when you spread it over 2 years.
Okay, you want to read it a second time?
Bill number 25-7A, an ordinance amending the 2025 budget.
Motion to approve bill number,
2025-7A.
that. Yes, 25-7A.
Second.
Call roll?
Alderman Eisenhower,
Yes.
Alderman Cruzen,
Yes.
Alderman Stokel,
Yes.
Okay. Bill number 25-07A is approved unanimously as ordinance 25-07A.
Yeah, I think it could be just 07 now.
Right.
07.
Yeah.
Okay, attorney's report.
I have nothing.
Jake, you
Great.
passed out all your pictures, you're up.
Hello, everyone. So for the public works maintenance updates, I did get a bid for taking down the dead elm tree in the park. Omni came and actually took it down. Thought it was actually reasonable. Then they ground the stump and everything, took it off, hauled it away. We went out there and leveled it out a little bit more, added a little dirt, seed, and straw. So both those little spots look great now. We had a stump coming up when you come down into the park from non-residents. It goes on the right-hand side. We had that one stump ground too because it was really big, and just wanted to take care of it while they were in there and had it. So I talked to my plumber today. He'll be out in the park probably next week when if it's not too wet or anything, to get a little machine in there to dig up the water. What am I trying to say? The water fountain area. Hopefully it doesn't make too big of a mess or anything. We worked on our monthly potholes throughout the city the other day, hitting some on Bully and then Burnham Woods Trail. And we obviously went over all of that already. So, and then the pump down in the park stopped working again. So
Again.
I have Cardinal Pump looking at that. There's a part that they're gonna try, and I tried getting it running around the other day, but they ended up finding it. And it's just gonna be a couple more days, and they can get it like an $800 part. Hopefully that's what it is, and not the actually motor for the pump. Talked with the roofing company, siding company, Martin, and he ran some type of report and was able to find out that they're still able to get that siding somehow, the metal siding, and we're gonna try to figure out if we're gonna do the metal siding, and then we'd have to probably paint the whole entire house, or if it's gonna be less expensive just to do the other siding throughout the whole thing. So trying to work out.
We may have to come out of pocket. That's what he's
Yeah.
getting at for the vinyl siding, because they actually can find that 50-year-old siding, and they're only going to replace one side if they can match it. So anyway, that'll be something for a future meeting.
So I got to call in
Vintage
I
siding.
know, and they can find it. They still make it. It's
.com.
crazy, isn't it?
Of course they can.
Yeah,
That place was built in the 50s, so
yeah.
I'm surprised they could get that. And then at Bully, intersection plantings are all done. Everyone seemed to be happy with the plantings.
Yeah, looks good.
So, any questions for me?
How are you watering that?
We take the big,
The
it's
big
like a-
tank?
The tank, yeah.
I feel like that little one, if we put it over there, it's just gonna be seen first of all, and then I don't know if it'll drip out with enough pressure.
Enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's a kinda, so we've been just kinda hitting it every other day type of thing. Hopefully it doesn't dry out on us, but
And we did do mulch in that area temporarily because we couldn't get the rock that we wanted. So I think at some point we'll go away from a mulch and go to more of a rock situation in there. And then it may be more potted plants that are kind of sitting on top of the rock and some things in there. to try to minimize. So it'll probably be a work in progress is what I'm getting at, is, you know, we're learning and Jake figures out the best way to like maintain that area, you know, with minimal watering efforts.
Hey, Jake, is that the rebuild pump in that?
That is, I think it's like whatever the original pump was. when
It's
they
been
rebuilt.
rebuilt
Yeah.
several times, yeah.
So are we turning it off at night?
It turns off, yeah. It starts at 8 and goes till, I think, 8 to 8.
Mhm. Yeah, he got the schedule working so that it was actually,
Could we give it any resting time, like during the day, like half an hour or so?
I mean, we can.
Mhm.
Do we have a new pump on order?
Not yet. We're gonna wait to see it. It's basically like a, I don't know, it's a motor starter or something he called it. The part was, it's just in the fuse, like the fuse panel box. We're gonna see if that thing works. If not, I trust that companies and they seem like really good people, so
Yeah.
I don't think they would take.
this
any
is different than the
notes either,
company
so,
we
yeah.
had been using, and this
Right.
is, they seem to be a lot
Yeah.
more responsive and,
Yeah. I mean, I called him and he was out there, I think it was the next day, so. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
when he did add a little pothole report for those who are interested to see how many bags it's been taking to fill those potholes and how often they're having to do it, so.
It is once a month at least.
Mhm.
What's the maximum size you take on?
I mean, we've used 4 and 5 bags and some of them, because you have to get all that stuff out from underneath it, because it ends up being like rock and, you know, real fine material. We try to get all that out, blow it all out. That's kind of the stuff you see on the side of the streets. That's what kind of is underneath there. So you get to the either hard asphalt or the concrete, you know, where it's a decent base you can jam it into, you know. But I mean, most of them are like 2 to 4 bags for some of them, you know. Those things are 15 something bucks a bag. That doesn't do whole lots.
Okay. Okay, city clerk report.
Okay, so I actually did have an administrative update that I added later, but so I found out yesterday that we have to have a certified person of responsible charge. MoDOT sent me an email to tell me about this for our TAP grant, which I was not aware of. It has to be not a consultant, it has to be somebody on the staff. So I will be doing a 4-hour MoDOT training sometime this week or early next, so that I can be certified by MoDOT to be the person of responsible charge for our project. So that's coming up soon.
That's positive.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, I'm sure. Super fun. Yeah, riveting stuff. The park lighting is an ongoing issue. The company has been out. The signals or whatever it is, the sensors in the lights are not behaving like they are supposed to. The company has been out. Somebody from New York is coming now to look at it. They're going to be in the park tonight again, late, and they may have to replace all the sensors. So they are operational. They are coming on when they are supposed to. They just are not necessarily going off when they're supposed to. And the motion sensors that they told us would be part of it are not working at all. So that's kind of what they're still trying to work out. So that is in progress. I'm waiting on, BFA's got a lot of staff out on vacations and various things. So as soon as they get back, I'm going to have them in here for a full day to do the final walkthrough on Crescent Avenue to make sure that there's nothing that we missed over there. The contractor still has not sent me an invoice. I'm waiting on that. They haven't sent me their final invoice, nor have they sent me the as-builts that we're supposed to get. So I will be, when I do get that, I will be recommending that we pursue the liquidated damages clause that's in our contract to a significant amount because of the delay. So that'll be at an upcoming meeting. And I'm going to have them also do a final inspection on the Boley entrance because I did the construction oversight on that. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything there. And then we're also going to have them do the grading evaluation at the property at 66. So the homeowner, the property owner will be paying BFA directly for that, which they've agreed to do, so that they can give them a proper stormwater evaluation about how to permanently stabilize that property and make the damage that's happening in the park stop. So we feel more comfortable having BFA make that evaluation versus their own civil engineer. So that'll be coming up as soon as everybody's back in town. So after July 22nd. And then, Boley entrance is done. And then I also found out that our contact at GBA is no longer employed there. I don't know what happened. I just got an automatic reply email whenever I reached out to him this week about this MoDOT situation. So I'm contacted somebody else at the company. So I'm waiting to hear back who our new contact will be. So that makes me slightly nervous for a $2 million grant we have going, but hopefully they've got somebody else that they can assign to us and it'll be fine. So that's all I have. Any questions about any of that? Okay.
Okay. Alderman comments? Tim?
No, actually, I don't think so. I don't think.
Lisa?
No, I mean, I was just gonna say that the 3rd of July, which I watched from outside of the city, which I don't usually do, but we were up at Charlie's boyfriend's house. We were watching from this angle. I thought they might have been the best in several years. So that sort of made me a little like sad because I don't think we really like these guys right now. So anyway, I'm just
Well,
saying.
we have them for one more year.
do
We do. We
Okay.
have, we're in the
Okay,
second
maybe
year of
they'll
our
be-
3-year
Maybe we'll be more
contract.
together next year.
Yeah.
They were very impressive this year.
Mhm.
So.
They were more together until the last minute.
Yeah, they were definitely,
They kept telling me, we're ready to go, we're ready to go, we're ready to go. And then when we're ready to go, I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah,
what's going on?
yeah, but I mean, it was, as a show, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was the best in some time, so that was, it's always nice to be with people I don't normally watch with, and they're like, oh my God.
Mhm.
Then my kids all go, yeah, my mom does that.
Mhm.
I love it.
So, yeah. So anyway, they were really nice.
Joe?
They were great. I forgot how loud they were until I had my dog outside with me. So
Yeah.
we didn't. I watched them, but Becky didn't. A couple of comments I've got. Just some things on the sidewalk when BFA comes out there.
Mhm.
There are some sizable pocks in the.
Mhm.
It looks like maybe some aggregate or some sizable aggregate was just under the surface. And the only reason I bring it up is that a potential maintenance issue down the line?
Yeah, we did talk about that. That happens with the mix that they use for sidewalks generally. And so if you go to any sidewalk anywhere, that happens a lot. The only fix for that is to remove and replace.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that that it rises to that.
Yeah.
It is something we will have to keep an eye on. But generally they don't get, it doesn't crack from something like that, and they don't get too much worse, than that.
So when they did my front concrete stoop to my house during construction, they had nicked it and got a big, they came in with some, they called it their magic patch. That thing's held up for about 10 years. I don't know if
Really?
there's a patch that they can just,
Okay.
something to think about.
Yeah, I can always ask for sure.
But speaking of the sidewalk, after the fireworks, that was really nice to see. Like traffic was moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, traffic was moving. People were walking on the sidewalk. It was great.
Good.
And then the one question I got on 66 when they talked about just putting it into just a prairie state or whatever. I'm not sure if the fire hydrant and the water, I guess that's the water valve right there. They graded that, and now that those both sit up quite a bit higher than where they were originally when it was a mounded hill. They'll either probably need to regrade that so that it's back to where it was originally, or
I'll ask BFA to
Or
look
pay
at it
to
and
have
see
it.
pay to
have
have
it
it
load.
dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll point that out to BFA when they're there.
My guess is we would probably prefer that they pay to have it lowered.
I would think so.
I think having BFA on the property is a good thing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just for his opinion and his look around is really good.
Mhm.
And I guess the only other thing is we haven't talked since the 3rd. as a
Right.
group.
Mm-hmm.
Any issues that?
Were there any issues with, police, any of that sort of stuff? I mean, everything seemed to go smoothly from
I
our
don't
end,
think so.
but I was out, for the first time, I like.
The only
usually in the
thing
park.
I heard was,
Church.
couple that I know came up to the apartments. Their mother lives there.
Okay.
To go from there to Carmen took them over an hour
After or before?
after.
We had a record crowd, I think, for sure,
We
by
did.
far.
That is true. And they were moving cars off of 141 throughout the entire
We had
night.
people parking on
Yeah.
Crescent.
Yeah, there were people,
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Stopping
moving,
in
the
the
cops
road.
were moving,
On Crescent,
cars off of
141.
141, like, the whole 20 minutes ahead of time.
Mhm.
Like, just coming up, moving them off,
Mhm.
and then I have no doubt they circled around to the other side, and, they just kept running them off,
Yeah,
I guess
which was fine. I
you
mean,
come up here and
I
you get
sat up.
involved in this up here, you might as well wait.
yeah.
Now,
Well-
my guess, we went in and they waited like 45 minutes and then drove right out.
Right, so because we were over on this side anyway, and I knew what we were doing with traffic, right? So we walked from the house to Fritz's, got ice cream, walked back, and made a right out of there and came right up to our house.
Mhm.
So it was not difficult at all, but you had to wait, so it was a planned wait, everyone should just leave there and walk over to Fritz's.
I think you said they had all the lots cleared like in 45 minutes,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so that's pretty good
Yeah.
considering the amount of people that were here.
Which is the longest time it's taken us to clear out these two lots. It's not normal for the church, but
Yeah, because the church is so compacted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like getting,
and you can't really like up here to 45 minutes to traffic for traffic flow with the lights. You can't do that at the church. We gotta get
Yeah.
99% of them out or we're gonna have an accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, even the businesses were saying it was packed this year.
it was,
So
yeah, I haven't seen it that way in a very long time, maybe ever, but certainly it's been years and years and years.
I've never seen the entire field at the church. Never have I seen it completely
Wow.
full.
Yeah.
I mean, you could not see grass.
Are the
Same
crowds
thing down
generally
in the park.
well behaved?
You couldn't see
You
one bit of
couldn't
grass.
see one, yeah.
I mean, there's always the outlier, but for the most part, knock on wood, they've been well behaved and we haven't had major issues.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, this is the first night that I got to stay in the condos on my deck
Right, watch from there.
for a lot of fireworks displays, but there was nobody parking in the condos. It was surprising.
Could you see it from your deck?
Mhm.
You could really.
Yeah, the high ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it from our house.
Hmm.
'Cause we used to watch when
Yeah.
the kids were real little, we would watch from the upper window in the front.
Huh.
You can watch.
And see at least the real high
all the
ones.
high ones.
Huh.
Which honestly, most of ours are high ones. Like you can see, when you're watching from outside of it, you can see that they're doing some low stuff and you can,
Mhm.
but like the vast majority of the time, there is stuff going on that's high enough to be seen.
Hmm.
So, and this was like, I asked TJ's family because they always watch from their yard. And they said, they were like, they've never had that many people who are sitting on their yard,
Mhm.
basically. They were like, we should start charging. I had no
Yeah.
idea. We could
Right.
like
Well, I
make a
was just
business of
thinking now
this.
that we have these,
But yeah,
might just walk the parking lot and see if everybody's got their $15 view.
There you go. Yeah, their viewing fee.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. But yeah, it was
Put bleachers
it was
up
a lot.
out here.
Right.
A lot of people. But so I thought, and a good show. So that was great. Well done, all. So
I did talk to the fireworks people, and I said, well, what about next year with the tariffs and, everything else? And he said he didn't expect it to be an issue. He said it might be a little increase, but nothing much. So, but I think we're locked in by contract.
we are now, yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So after next year, we'll have to go shot counting again, looking for a vendor.
Or maybe we look at a drone show.
Oh, yeah. Where are we gonna land them?
They don't need much room.
They can start like this.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The first year might be a 3-drone show,
Oh, no.
Or-
They could
or
do a
but
lot.
one.
build from there.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our drone. All right. Okay, any final citizen comments?
None.
Okay. We have completed our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. See you Friday at 4.
Yeah.